Hello YouTube family, James Green, short series Shenanigans. Loving this cup there, Christopher Favel from American Rotary. Giving him a shout out. Loving my rotary phase converter. You guys, I'm always talking about it. I'm pleased as punch about it, and I love that rotary phase converter. If you're getting a piece of equipment that requires 3-phase power, don't even mess with trying to go VFD. My personal opinion, I've been so pleased. The nice thing about having a rotary phase converter is, okay, call American Rotary, talk to Chris Favel or everybody else there. If you ever get another piece of 3-phase equipment, you don't have to go through, well, I need to rewire the motor or the VFD. Thing about me, from personal experience, I've learned VFDs give no warning. If you have a power outage or a power surge, it'll take them out. Then you're money behind. Me personally, my experience, money ahead going American Rotary phase converter. That way I can, I run my, you guys know I run my Bridgeport, I run my surface grinder. I had a chance to, and I went and looked at it, but it wasn't what I wanted. But it was nice that I had the rotary phase converter. As you guys know, I recently upgraded to a new Lincoln Square Wave. Now I'm out of argon right now. I was playing with it and I'm loving that machine. So I actually looked at, they had one there at Matheson Gas. It was a used piece of equipment. It was a month or so old. It turned out that wasn't big enough, but they had a 3-phase welder there. And the guy was joking. He's like, well, you need 3-phase power. And I was like, well, I got a rotary phase converter. He was going to cut me a smoking deal on it, but it didn't have any leads or anything. But so for those of you who don't know, the Everlast has to go for warranty work again. So far, I will give you a bit of an update on that. So, the gentleman that used to do their warranty work, we'll just say was very, very lackluster in his performance. Talking to the new company that took over effective 1 January 2017, they do all of Everlast's repairs to include their warranty. So, whole new outfit. They actually follow Everlast's recommendations of replacing whole boards instead of, like the other guy was trying to replace pieces of components and then basically, I guess, trying to do some underhanded deals to where he could pocket the money. My machine, under warranty, they're paying both ways for the shipping. Matter of fact, I got to pack it up and ship it out. They sent me so they've been very, very supportive and wonderful of it. Companies go through growing pains. I get that. I've been very pleased with the welder, and I know a lot of you guys have purchased Everlast equipment based on my recommendation. Man, I've been totally pleased with it. As I told you before, I dug into my firearms collection because I needed a welder and I couldn't wait. I went ahead and bought this. Now, at the time, I will say this. This Lincoln Square Wave TIG 200 was not out when I purchased my Everlast, which was almost 4 years ago. So this has only come out in the last couple of years. It's very, very simple. When I get some argon later this week, I will do a sit-down video and show you guys. I'm very pleased with it. There's other videos out there. So nothing against the Everlast other than the gentleman that used to do the repairs. Yeah, he wasn't doing as Everlast required. So they found a new company, whole new group. If you call, I've published the information out there. I will put the information in the description box if you want to talk to Everlast Warranty, and the guy's name is Mike. And then there's another guy named Dan. Both very, very, very knowledgeable. So I know I've had some people say, hey, how come the things break and wear out. I get it. But, so I'm loving the Lincoln so far. I used up what little argon I had left. I figured, okay, let me just throw this thing in, put it through its paces, and so far I've been pleased with it. But that'll be a different video. Today, kind of a hodgepodge. I'm going to show you guys. You guys know I got the 69 Ford F250. It's got the FE motor. Now, yes, it's going to be a 390. It was funny. Had someone comment, they saw a picture in the video, and they could tell just by looking at the video that I had 360 rods. No, they were 390 rods. The only difference between 360 and 390 is the crank throw. Anyway, the cranks are the same. I got the specifications up. I've got the crank in the lathe here, and we're actually going to clean it up. I've already started. Matter of fact, I kind of had to redo this video because in the process of moving the camera, I hit the stop button. So can't go back and undo some of what I've done, but I'm going to recap. So it's kind of like I'm literally shooting it over again. So follow along. I'm going to show you how I do it, and we'll get started. All right. So we got it up here in the machine. All right. This crank actually came out of a manual, or a vehicle with a manual transmission. In the back here, it's got a brass bushing. Now, I'll tell you a trick to actually get the bushings out. And this is purely for demonstration. This isn't the right size. So you would turn down something, metal, brass, doesn't matter, whatever, and you can put it in that bush. What you do is you pack that grease in there, and then you, as you have the grease in, you take a hammer, and if you turn a punch to the correct size, it's a snug fit, and you keep adding grease, it'll actually push that bushing or bearing out. That's instead of doing the whole slide hammer and all, and I've got a slide hammer. So if you don't have a slide hammer and it's like, well, I don't want it, and you can typically go get those like at O'Reilly Auto Parts, and they'll loan them to you, you get them back. But if you don't have it, you just get some wheel bearing grease, turn something to size or close to it, and you can actually drive that in there, and it's a hydraulic press. I learned that when I was a kid. We've pulled out lots of things that, as long as it's a blind hole in the back, and it is, excuse me, you can actually push your bearing or bushing or whatever it is out. So we'll go through again. I've already shown on the other video. So back in the day, Dad and I used to have a wall full of books for whatever piece of equipment, automotive, everything. You had to have the book to work on it. Prior to the internet, that's how you did things. So I don't have a wall full of books. I've got the internet. So for the FE motors on the 352 390 crank, the rods and mains are actually the same size. The main journal diameter is 2.749. The rod diameter journal is 2.438. So right off here, right off of the information. So I had already started cleaning, and then when I went to move the camera, I bumped. So I will recap really quick before we start measuring this again. Get you guys over here. So all the mains check out fine. They're good. We already just started doing a little polishing. There was only one area that had a question, and that was this main here and then this rod. Now there was no sign of significant transfer of material from the bearings to the crank. There was just normal wear to where you could see the copper was showing. Now we've already checked through, and I went through, and what you can do is if you have a little bore light like this, okay? So quick note on your oil galleys on your crank. On the FEs, they just go straight through. They're drilled holes, okay? None of these have been chamfered. They're still got the factory, call it good, send it out, boom, you're done. These are going to get chamfered, and I'll do that. I'm not going to show that on camera. There's other videos out there. But you could take your bore light, okay, and you start here at the front main. You should be able to see through, okay, and you look right through, and perfectly clean. And you just chase your holes like this, and we look through, and we've done it. And they stagger all the way down. They're all clean, no obstructions. If there were, we'd clean them out. Now, on some cranks, on some vehicles, applications, see, that's something else we're going to take off, is casting sprues like that. That's just, it was never cleaned up. I don't know. That's weird. You know, this is just a factory run-of-the-mill. You know, we're not going to have it balanced or anything, but you got to be careful of things like that. That it was just, you know, rough cast, throw it, get it done. Anyway, some cranks, they'll have what they call sludge pockets. Now, depending on how the oil galleys are drilled, you'll actually have in the end of a rod or a main journal, you'll have either a little plug or a ball bearing that's in there. Now, you have to remove those and replace them. You know, tap in with a little, like a slide hammer with a screw and pull them out, or the ball bearings. What you have to do is go in with a drill, and then what you'll do is you'll go in with a You get it here, I'm trying to grab it here, my little one. You get a starter bit like that, okay, and you go in. Well, before you do that, you'll take an end mill and a drill. Easy way to do it, end mill and a drill, where it's an end one that you can plunge with it, okay. So it would be an end mill that you can plunge with. It won't be just, you know, so that way you can, because you'll have a ball bearing in there, you need to get it flat. So you'll go in there, you'll drill it, end mill it, get a flat surface, then you'll go in with one of these. Boom, you'll get your drill hole started, then you can just drill it out. And obviously whatever size bit you need to determine, because you'll be able to see the other size, whatever it is, so you can go through, you know, long aircraft bits, all that. So if you have a crank that has sludge pockets, you've got to pull those out to clean them. This doesn't have it, we don't worry about it. Moving right along. Now, get that out of the way. Slide that down. Alright, so measuring the main journals. I know these are already good. We checked them before I hit the wrong switch on the camera. So, what we're using is the Mitutoyo. Okay, old school. And woke it up. Alright. It's the old Mitutoyo 293-723-10. Now this is an older one. I like these old Mitutoyos. Even this one and the ones that you guys see I'm always using this style. So this model is a little bit older than this, and they've got even newer ones. I love the Digimatics. So we have a 2 to 3 Mitutoyo. Come up here, make sure we don't get the bottom in a oil galley here. So 2.749, which is just right at 3/4. We'll open that up. We'll come in here, and I'm holding underneath so I can help find center. And then I'll make sure and I hit manual. And hold. So we are 2.7488, which it was just a little bigger than that before I polished, and that is nothing. I was basically pulling off the crud. That's well within specifications. Now this motor, this crank is going to be a daily driver. Putts around town. There are things I'm doing to it you would normally do in a performance build. Like I'm going to do the heads. My veteran buddy Chad, super guy, he recently got some valve grinding and seat grinding equipment. And so I'm actually going to, this is going to be, it's been 1993 since I ground valves on a valve machine. I used to have all that stuff. He's got it. He's done it newer, but we're going to use this set of heads as let's cut our teeth on it. Let's get back, you know, practice. So this set of heads, I actually ordered them and I've got them in. They are right here. Yeah, here they are. So we already got nothing fancy. We've got our seats, exhaust and intake, all of them. Could have got by with what was there, and I'm like, you know what, while we're doing it, there were some exhaust ones that, for me, I'm like, you know what, while I'm doing it, let's just go ahead and do it. I'm not in a hurry. So, automotive, going to be doing a lot of automotive machining in this. I'm going to show you guys when I do it. I'm going to drill out, and we're going to press new guides in, or correction, not guides. I still got to check the guides. The seats, I'm going to check the guides to see if I need to put guides in. I'm not going to do knurled guides. I used to back in the day at times. Putting knurled guides in is a cost saving measure if you're like really like trying to stretch your last penny. Or if guides aren't available, or it's just, you know, one of them things. If it turns out that there's a guide or any of them that are bad in the head, I'll get new guides. I've got the machine, we'll drill it, we'll put guides, there'll be a video. I'm going to show you, I've got the seats here. For those of you that are curious what a exhaust or intake seat looks like in an FE, I'll show you. Okay, so intakes are bigger than exhaust. And you go to the book, you can see there's all sorts of different sizes if you want to put oversized performance and this and that and the other. So they already come with a little, so you can differentiate which way do you put it in. they already have a little bit of a bevel. Okay, so this is the top. So when we drill it out, and you can see it's radiused at the back. So when we go to put these in, that'll be a video, because I'm going to do all the seats. It's like while I'm here, some little things for this motor, like the crank, personally, I'm not going to turn it. It's fine for what I'm doing. Even if I wanted to do a semi-performance, which I guess this is a semi-performance build. Heck, I don't know. I'm just doing the basic stuff, kind of what I want to do, because it's mine. Already got the pistons cleaned up. Got the rods cleaned up. Don't know if we're going to use, we were trying to find out whether or not this was used or not, or going to go with it. So far, everything looks fine, so I know I'm going to go with those rods. The other pistons, I don't know. It's a standard bore in the block that I've got. I've got 2 more motors we're going to pull apart and look at them and see. We don't know. One might be a 410 Mercury that's in a pickup. We're going to pull it out and find out. Obviously, if it's a 410 Mercury, we're going to put a 410 Mercury in this pickup. But this motor will get built for a buddy of mine if I take the other one. So we're going through everything and trying to, you know, he just has a 6-cylinder 306, and he just wants a V8 in it to get him around, because he's going to be doing like this super hot rod build, you know, good stuff. So anyway, rods check out. We check the mains, let's check the rods, I'm sorry. So the rod diameter, pretty much same thing. Let's see, connecting rod diameter is 2.438. 2.438. I'm going to leave this open, sitting over here. So let's go ahead and go with this journal here. And I know I'm right in between the 2 oil galleys. I got to kind of wait for, okay, getting up close here. All right, trying to find the center. And hold. So right off here, I don't know if the camera will show it or not. We'll put way right up at the top, 2.438. 2.43805, literally. And if you look right at the top, I don't know if it'll pick it up on the phone, you can see 2.438 main journal diameter, which is the, or rod, I'm sorry, because you have the crank and then you have the rod journal. So that's, I don't know if it can get any better than that. And the only one I had that was in question was down here. And it was, let's measure it real quick. I'm going to do like I did right here. And it was just shadow stuff. There's no, make sure I'm right in the middle. We'll come over here to the side where, now I'll come over here to the side or the rod road. Okay. So even if I come over here to where a rod was, which that one was right in the middle. So we came over here to the top side, 2.4373, which that's still, for what I'm doing, that's perfectly within spec. So 2.438 minus 2.437, 1,007. So definitely within spec. Now some people will say you got to have room for oil in there. So there's a lot of stuff out there depending on what you're doing. This is definitely, and that was the only one I had in question. The reason I had it in question was, let me set this down. There was some I don't know if it was transfer. I don't think so. Doesn't look like it, but it looks like something may have went through the oil system. Okay. At one time. Who knows? And I know this camera won't zoom in real super tight. And that's shadow. When you look at it and feel, I mean, I've felt it. If you use, you get a rag. I'll just spray some. All right. And I've had people, oh, you need to turn the crank. It's bad. I'm like, really? Okay, so you can see where the rods didn't ride. This is where the rod rode. I've had people that saw that and swore up and down, the crank's bad, you got to turn it. Which we just measured it. And you can feel there is a very minute spot right there, but it's not even raised. It's at, and I can't even feel it with my fingernail. If I use my finger, the only thing I can actually feel is that oil, where that area right there, that unworn area where the rods did not ride. I can't even feel that. That's literally shadow, you know. So we've checked them all. They're all good. Nothing bad. I'm going through with 320 grit. I'll back you guys up here and show you what I'm doing, because I don't have a fancy machine to run a belt, and you don't need to because I'm not going fast. And we're not taking off. If you go coarser than 320, then you're going to start pulling material off. All I'm literally doing is, took some here because it's really wide. I tore it in two so I can get in between the journals. I'll grab another piece here real quick. Okay. Yep. 320 grade. It's wide. Pull it out. Tear it off. And then what you can do, because you know you're going to be on, we're doing main still, we got to narrow it up a little bit. And that'll work. Alright. So all we're going to do is we're going to finish up these last two mains. I'm not going to show you the rods, and I'll just show you how I do it. I've got it at 70 RPM. Alright, and we're going to do this one, and we'll get started. And I'm making sure I walk side to side. Like I said, we are barely turning. Get ready for the other one. Reset. Trying to do this without getting grabbed by the. There we go. Because 320 loads up real easy. Has a little tension. Oh. This is what's fun about trying to do these. You get a fresh piece. That's already loaded up with junk. That's the thing about 320. It loads up real quick. But that's fine. We use this piece. And I'm using this narrow one to start off with, just to get the oily junk. working my way across. Load up some garbage. Grab another one. Just keep going through. It loads up so quick. Do one more here. Alright. When you don't have a belt sander, it's a little bit of a trick. There we go. And we'll go side to side. There we go. Alright, and then we'll go back to this one here. And I'll go through it. I've got some finer grit stuff. We'll clean it up, but we just wanted to get the basic shellac and junk off of. And we can go back and measure these. There's virtually no material removed. Yes, there is, but like I said, we're using superfine 320. You know, we'll measure this journal right here. E-stops in, and brake is on. Alright. We'll measure this journal again because we just got through measuring it. .4377. Okay, so literally we've just removed, I guess if you will call it, the shellac or the scum or everything that's on top. There's lots of videos out there, guys, on how to do this. I'm just taking you along in my journey of doing the budget rebuild for this FE390. Again, thank you to All Industrial Tool Supply, you guys. Phenomenal channel sponsor. www.allindustrial.com. Call them, request a free master catalog, mention this channel. You know, they're a great small 8-man company in Huntington Beach, California, and they got a lot of stuff, and they got a new website. They're still adding stuff to the website continually, so call, talk to them, get the master catalog. They've got a lot of great stuff, and they're a phenomenal channel sponsor. So there you go, Bar Z 2017 Bash. I know there's still spots available. It's RSVP. Contact Stan. Link down in the bottom in the box description on how to get a hold of him and get registered for the Bash. It is RSVP only from what I understand. Limited slots available, so there you go. We're planning on being out there. And until next time, take care of yourself and take care of your family. Because remember, at the end of the day, you and your family is all you got. Till next time, get out in the garage and hey, you want to do some engine work? Have fun. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.